life is harder than I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. No point in calling, you just have to see the fundamentals of our life tonight. Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like a movie, my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart. Killing time, we got nowhere to be. You're sending messages I can't ignore. No contemplating, come here close to me. I'm bored at home, can't leave the house no more. But I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm losing my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart. You, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart. How y'all doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing real good.
Hope everybody's doing real good. Trying these stupid pop-ups. I don't want your antivirus. Leave me alone. How's everybody doing today? I already asked that like twice. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's having a good Friday. What a week. Yes, that's drone footage of Winston-Salem, North Kakalaki. Now I can take this off now. Let's see here. Yeah, hi. There we go. Okay. Let's give everybody a little time to come in. And I'll check my messages real quick, see if anybody can come. No. Okay, there's Sugar Pie. Hey, Sugar Pie. Good to see you. Yeah. What a nice compliment. Thank you so much. IP Clean. Someone I was watching was bragging on your stuff. It may have been voices. Oh, how nice. And I really appreciate that. Thank you for coming and joining me. Hey, October. Good to see you. And so what a heavy week, right? Um, that's sort of the best word I can come up with. There's a topic that I wanted to talk about yesterday. Um, and there was so much happening in the streets. Plus, I was gardening and trying to make some soap, and do real life stuff too. And there just wasn't enough time for me. So, and it was hot potato. And when I say hot potato, maybe I should wait for some more people to come in because it is sort of a deep topic and I really want some feedback on it. Um, when I say hot potato, it's like the conversation that took place between Rap's mother and Dove. And it went something like this. Well, he can't come here. I've got kids, quote unquote. Smoky Mountain Mama has kids too, and they're just as important as your kids. Come get your menace to society. That really angered me, infuriated me actually, because of from whence I came with the troubles that I had with my daughter before her murder. If the parents to these guys that were involved in my daughter's murder had come and gotten their menace to frickin' society and took them home and handled them, uh, things would not have occurred the way that they did. And so I wanted to ask the question, hot potato. I don't want them. You take them. Well, I can't take them. You take them. At what point are parents relieved from their responsibility, from their menace to society that they created? And don't come in here and tell me it's not the mother's fault. I'm a mother. It's our fault. We are the main influence on our children. They watch every minute thing we do. And if you don't think they're watching you take a picture of your butt for your social media, they are so watching you. They are watching every single thing you do. And I hold myself completely responsible for what happened to my daughter, even though she was a grown woman, 23 years old, living in another city. And it happened, during a drug deal gone wrong. It was my fault. Do you want to know why? Because my daughter got addicted to opiates because she trusted a doctor. Why did she trust a doctor? Because she watched mom trust a doctor. And if a doctor says it's okay to take, it must be okay to take. And when she was in an automobile accident, they prescribed her opiates. And it wasn't but a week before she was dependent on them because she had her vertebrae in her back, which is the exact same vertebrae the bullet entered. The irony, the irony, the irony in all of that. The boyfriend that robbed her deceased body was a menace to society, had never done anything productive in his damn life, but be a thug. And the other two guys, same thing. There was three guys. And so I want to ask the question. It's kind of like, come get your damn menace to society out of that hotel and take him back home with you. This is a mess that you born and then you left to society to handle because you've got these new kids and they're not broken. Whatever trauma or drama happened in Rap's life, that happened on your watch. So you should come get your damn kid so that her kids are safe too. Go get your menace to society. Or a cop will put it right in his head. Okay, because they don't mess around, do they now? I mean, cops really don't mess around now. If you're a menace to society, they put that red dot right in between your head. I've seen it happen. Okay, so if you care about them, you need to come get them And if you care about Smoky Mountain Mama and her children, or are yours more important? So the safety of your children are way more important than the safety of Smoky Mountain Mama's. Oh, hot potato, I don't want them. Smoky Mountain Mama didn't create this menace. You did. You did. If nobody agrees with me, I don't really care, because it is the mother's fault. It is the mother's fault. It is the mother's fault. It happened on her watch. Whatever happened in his childhood that created this monster, come get him. Come get him. That's not our responsibility to clean up your mess. Okay? Because another victim will happen. It already did, her child, her daughter. That was another victim that happened after she was victimized. Menace to society. And then what does he do? He goes live. Okay? Because he's not enough menace to society. Okay? Come get your mess. Come get this piece of crap that you born and then threw out into society for us to deal with. That's sort of my topic, Alicia, and that was why I wanted you to come up. Because I wanted to talk about when are parents released of their responsibility of their adult menace to society. I say when they die. She was always my responsibility. I don't care how old she got. I went and got her. It's my responsibility. I was her major influence in her life. So all this guilt that people say, oh, Cynthia, you shouldn't feel this guilt. Hell yes, I should. Or I wouldn't be learning anything. I wouldn't be learning that God brought me to my knees because I wasn't going to church and I wasn't living right. He clipped me at my knees and said, you will succumb and listen to me. You will listen to me. Because I was out doing my own thing. Thought, well, la, 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 la. And he said, no, you will listen to me. I listened. He got my attention. Hopefully this is getting Rap's mom's attention. Because that's a crime. That was a major felony crime. Sometimes, you know, you can get the death penalty for certain things. So what is it going to take? Or is that what she's hoping for? I mean, what is she hoping for? If she's really worried and concerned, go get him. Go get him. There are facilities. There are places that you can put him. Assisted living, whatever the hell. But don't leave him out here for society to deal with. That's sort of my thing. And while she's left him out here, there's lives. He's on panels. I personally think she should get up off her ass and go get her damn menace to society. What do y'all think? Anybody want to come up? That's my topic. That's what hot potato meant yesterday. I probably should have named this one that too, since I didn't get to. So that's my topic. When do you think it is no longer the parent's responsibility? Because we're talking about major arrested development going on here in this sucker. Okay? If y'all hear the video of this guy, oh my gosh, oh, I just can't believe that. Oh my God, I can't believe that. Oh my God. Are you for real? I mean, we're talking like, you know, are you like 10? Well, okay, he plays video games all day. You bring him buckets of candy while he's playing video games all day and trolling people. He's being a menace to society. Hell, just ask Ernie. He's a menace to society. Come get your piece of shit and go fix it. Right? So we can all live in harmony. It's not our fault you screwed up as a mom. That's just how I feel. Sorry, you don't just wake up one day and decide you're going to rape your girlfriend. That's a predator, guys. That's a predator.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
Can you
now.
hear me now? I've
Yes.
got it turned down. I had it turned down. I didn't want to sound too preachy. But I mean, I just feel I'm just so mad. I mean, now he's getting on panels. Come get your kid.
Are you talking about rap?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, because I was trying to eat and clean up and everything before I came on, so I missed like bits and pieces of what we're talking about.
Yeah, I feel like she should come get her menace to society because Smoky Mountain Mama's kids are just as important as Rap's mom's kids. And the way she was playing hot potato with them. Well, I don't want them. I can't bring them here. I got kids. Well, Smoky
Oh,
Mountain Mama's got kids too. Why are your kids more important than hers? Come get your joke. Come get your menace to society and go deal with him while the rest of society gets to live in harmony, right?
yeah.
Because we're dealing with some major arrested development here.
If I was in the same situation and it was one of my sons, I don't care if they're 20, 30, 40, whatever. I would want the girlfriend to text me the proof of uh the wanting to unalive himself stuff. I'm trying to watch careful with the words I use. Um, and when I saw that proof, I would definitely probably I'd pick him up first and then take him straight somewhere to be Baker acted to get help immediately for why they're saying that. Um, for sure. And then counseling afterwards, ongoing counseling. But something needs to be done because first you have to get out the way that is this person really mentally unstable? Are they really having these thoughts or not? That needs to be a doctor needs to say yes or no to that first. And then counseling needs to occur whether they were faking it or being completely real, so they can understand that that's not a way to handle a situation. Like you don't just say that.
You listen to the tape, right, of the mom?
Yeah, the word she said, like she wasn't surprised. She acted like she wasn't surprised,
And she
and then
played hot potato with them. She
yes,
said to Devil, I can't have him here. What
right,
a thing to say. My response would have been, where's he at? Well, give me the address. I'm on my way. Honey, get the car.
right,
Or it would have been, oh my God, is she okay? Is she all right? Oh my God. He didn't. Oh my God, is she okay? She just kind of goes, okay. Well, he can't come here. I got kids. Well,
right,
so does Smoky Mountain Mama. She's got kids too. And
and
her
no,
kids are important too.
and no one's telling her that he needs to come there in the house, but get him the help that he needs at least.
Right. Exactly. She can go put him in an apartment for all I care. Just come get
Right,
his ass.
right, and I mean
Because
I
there's
don't.
no telling what can happen, on if he's manic, his mind's going brrr, and he has no buffer. Nobody around him saying, no, calm down, no, don't do that. He has no buffer, he's all alone. And if he's manic, he's going to come up with all these bizarre scenarios and they're going to make perfect sense to him. She needs to come get him and keep him contained from society till she gets him stabilized.
Now we don't know if there's been like maybe violence in the past between them, and she may be scared of him. Like there's so many things that we don't know, but still, even if that's the case, you can still get him the proper help. Like as far as I know, when the situation occurred, days went by before any cops were called. um no 5150 was done or anything like that. And I don't understand that. Like, I don't, if I was in the situation and it occurred, I would have immediately got a hold of authorities. And the very first text that I received threatening
Absolutely.
to hurt themselves, I would have called authorities on that
Absolutely.
too.
Absolutely.
So I don't understand that situation. It just floors me. I don't get it.
Me
Not only
neither.
because of my own safety, but because of others too.
Exactly. He might hurt somebody else. And he did. Her daughter. He victimized another one after Smokey, her daughter, by messaging her. So, as far as I'm concerned, October baby, when you say he's an adult, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. You born that child. He is your responsibility to you croak. Okay? I don't care. Because of society, someone has to be responsible for each other. Has to be. And just like my daughter, I mean, I knew that she went through things that caused her to make poor decisions at times. And I am responsible for that because that happened on my watch. So if we born a child till the day we die, we are responsible. That's just how I see it.
Yeah. I've been very quiet, since this has all been coming out, because I think I have an unpopular opinion when it comes to how things that were handled, because I just don't get how nothing something like that was done, and nothing was done except for coming to YouTube to talk about it. you know I feel like we have went from a generation of, like, we grew up in, where women remain silent about things like that happened, and then we were all taught to empower ourselves and protect others and stand up and be independent and strong woman, right? So we all embraced each other to speak about these things and not let men get away with this kind of stuff. And now all of a sudden everybody's lost all of that empowerment, and we're
Mm-hmm.
back into the 80s and 90s again, where it's like, you know you don't have to say anything if you don't want to. No, you stand for yourself and you stand for other women. That's the way we're supposed to be you know
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not on the bandwagon with a lot of other people about, authorities not being called, and a mental facility not being called, and everybody just, well, you do what you want to do. But
Everybody's like playing hot potato with it.
mm-hmm.
.com. I don't know any other way to fix scenarios that are happening in the world over and over and over and over. We have to hold ourselves responsible as the parent. They don't just wake up one day and decide to become this way. There are trauma and drama, okay, that they witness, and they are that way because of things that they have witnessed, things that have been done to them. They don't just wake up one day and decide to be Ted Bundy. I mean, you go look at the relationship. This guy has totally got a mommy issue. This is, I mean, this is a mommy issue scenario, just like Bundy.
Well, it can also
And
be an immaturity issue. I mean, some people wear their emotions and their heart on their sleeve. They're very dramatic when it comes to their feelings and stuff. And when they want to be loved and they want attention, they will go an extra mile for it. You know, and
mhm,
that comes from just immaturity and not being disciplined and taught how to handle those types of emotions and know when too far is too far.
mhm,
And I think that a lot of people who loved rap, and were big followers of him, everyone could probably agree and to admit that he wasn't always the most mature.
yeah. .com said it perfectly. I am not responsible for my adult child, but yes, I would step in and help my adult child. We can't just turn our backs on them because they turn 21 and just go, here you go, world. Hope I did good. I mean, we have to like take some responsibility and say, this is a human that I raised and then I released out into the world, just like a dog.
I just turned
We
chat.
feel responsible for that dog, don't we? If it goes and chews on a little kid, right?
I just turned chat on and saw Chaotic, so I wanted to say hi, love to her, and Sarah. Hey, honey. And then I hope we didn't upset Truth Hurts, because I'm not trying to upset anyone. I just feel like since this has been presented to the public, then that allows us to have an opinion on things. And I know, like I said, that my opinion isn't, everybody is not going to be, right there with me on how I feel about it. But it's been put public, so, I have an opinion just like everybody else does. And my
I probably would not have felt this strongly about it, Truth Hurts, if the drama hadn't kept continuing with him going on panel. I just feel like he should have gotten in his car and gone and gotten himself help
right,
and
because
left her alone.
he is an adult, so and his friends that he called and spoke to, panels that he went on. Now, I didn't watch everything, so I don't know everywhere he's been, but I feel like all of those people who are adults should have kind of guided him into that direction as well too. I don't know if they did or not, but I feel like if they were a genuine person who really cared for him and wanted him to get help, they would. And if they didn't, then that tells me that they're more about the drama and the clicks and the views than they are about him as a person.
Sorry, I had to tell him something real quick. I feel like, you can come up with, well, there's two sides to this and blah, 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 blah. There wasn't two sides to him contacting her daughter. That's like, you know, you can't make up a scenario that makes that sound good. Texting her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
There's no scenario that makes that okay. And didn't Ernie like get in trouble for doing that to one of his girlfriends, where she threw him out and he started making her daughter feel guilty? It's like, where did he get his playbook, right?
Yeah, but I think in Ernie's situation, he reached out to the little girl first, where in Rap's situation, the little girl texted him checking on him, and then when he should have been mature
And not,
and not engaged, he gave her information to make the mother look bad.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's called triangulation, isn't it? Where you try to tell the child that the other parent is wrong and you bring them in and go, see, see, see. That's called triangulation with narcissistic personality disorder, right?
See,
It's like they're trying to, yeah. Sorry, I
uh,
didn't mean to interrupt.
curiosity saying him texting the doctor shows how immature daughter shows how immature he is, and that's what I think this whole thing is like. In my opinion, from what I have watched and listened to, I feel like he's 30 going on 15.
Look
So
right here at Sugar Pie. I'd be taking my son to the police. There's no way I could stand by and do nothing. That is holding your child accountable, not playing hot potato and saying, well, you can't come here. I got kids. Sorry for your luck. Call somebody else. I can't imagine a parent doing that. I got so mad listening to that because I was in the same scenario calling Victor's mom saying, come get your son. He's a thug. I don't want him near my daughter. And then he takes my daughter on a drug deal and she's dead. If she had come and got her menace to society, a lot of things wouldn't have happened the way they happened. If Chris Sadler's mother had come and gotten him and put him in drug rehab, he wouldn't be in a coma right now. So come get your menace to society and get them help.
right.
That's just all I'm saying.
the conversation that I had with the DCF investigator lady this morning uh, would have would have been amazing. I mean, obviously I can't record it and put it on here, but I'm just saying, like, it would have been great for everyone to hear, because I had asked why there was such a lack for foster homes and stuff, and she said, in my opinion, this new generation is so spoiled.
Oh my gosh,
She
isn't that the
said,
truth?
she said
That is so the truth.
they have been raised up completely different than how we were all raised. They have a lack of discipline. Video games and phones and social media and all that is more important to them than almost anything else in life. Like, their whole day revolves around getting home and getting in front of that game console, or getting on TikTok or something like that. They don't have a sense of real true reality like what we have, and so therefore they're jaded to a lot of things, and even concern about what's going on in the world around them and helping other people, including children that need help, because they're caught, their life is caught up in this virtual reality world. And when she was telling me about all this, I thought about rap, with the not working and the playing the video games and just fun, trolling people, you know.
Yes. I mean, if he is 30, he has the mentality of about mine when they were 15. I would
Right.
say he's around 13 or 14. So something traumatic happened to him around 13 or 14. And he is stuck in that age, arrested development. He did not mature anymore past that traumatic date.
Well, if you don't go out in the world and work a job and maybe, go to college or something, and, you know, live as an adult, have responsibilities, have to pay multiple bills, all of these things, and all of that gets bypassed because somebody's taking care of you and you're able to sit around and play video games and play all day long.
No.
How can you grow up? How can you
How
get
how
wisdom
can you mature?
and mature and know how to handle situations in a proper manner? Because everything on those games and on social media is over dramatized, right? And so
Hmm.
it starts making you where you don't know how to act like a sensible human being in a social setting.
I feel like also a lot of it is latchkey kids. The moms and dads are going to work and they're left there to be babysat by Microsoft
Right.
and, and chat rooms. And I feel like parents have become lackadaisy, lazy, and they don't want to raise their kids. Or they're out at the club and taking selfies in the bathroom of their ass and posting them, hoping to get laid with their tits out. Okay. And then they bring these men home, ain't got no car, ain't got no job, ain't got scissors for a haircut. I mean, I'm not understanding why are American females so damn desperate? What happened? What happened? It's like TLC came out with a song and all the standards and morals went down the toilet. I mean, I don't understand. It's like, when I was coming up, you were supposed to keep your legs crossed till you got married,
Hmm.
and you were supposed to marry a man that you're educated, and he's supposed to match that education with security. And so, when our parents send us females off to college and sorority, and we're groomed to be, productive members of society, the man should be too, right? And
Right.
so that when we meet each other after college to get married, you're worth marrying, right? What happened to all that?
Society is just completely messed up, in my opinion, and you're so right about where both parents have to work now, compared to while we were growing up. And so children are raised up by television, by the radio, by computers, and they all have this false sense. They think the world owes them. A lot of them do. a public survey was taken on that on 30 and under, and they were floored by how many kids think that things should be just given to them, you know?
I'll never forget in the 90s, there were magazines that the title would catch my eye in the grocery store. And one was Prozac Nation. And the second, because all these kids are on SSRIs, because Johnny can't sit still 8 hours in class. We're
Mm-hmm.
not made to sit still for 8 hours while we're being indoctrinated by our government in a classroom. We're not made. So they stick us on SSRIs. They throw us on Adderall or Ritalin, and then we're addicted to drugs by the time we're 15. And
Right.
so, yeah, and so where was I going with that? There was something I was going to say about the magazine. The second one was, are we raising a narcissist nation?
I would say so.
And those two really just just really, you know what I'm saying? And what do we do about it? What do we do about it? I feel like we're in chat rooms, we're on YouTube because we feel so powerless in the real world.
Right. Yeah. October 50 said, we cannot, as parents of bullies, force them into treatment, but the law can hold them accountable. You can't force them into treatment, but when somebody has, through an email or through text message, or, a public way of showing that they are wanting to unalive themselves, it only takes one of those things to prove them to authorities to have them Baker acted and get help.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody can do that. It doesn't have to be
Mm-hmm.
a friend, it could be anyone.
Yes, the law can hold them accountable, and the law can get them mental health. You know, let's just say she does press charges and he gets a suspended sentence. I just know scenarios of people in Gastonia where they have been involved in, let's just say, involuntary manslaughter, and they do 8 months, but because they are mentally ill, they do that 8 months getting mental health treatment. And when they get out, they have to maintain that or they go back. I don't want to like dox anybody, but I know that that's happened on 2 incidences where they were, and like here, this one said he was diagnosed bipolar and on meds. If they are the wrong meds, they can make it so much worse. Ask my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bipolar, and they would stick me on antidepressants, and the antidepressants made my mania exacerbate, and I would become violent at times. I would get paranoid. I would, my energy level where I didn't have to have any sleep. I mean, it made me a great employee because I was at work all the time. Because I
Yeah.
was like, but then you crash and you have volatile moments. So if the wrong cocktail is given, it can make you go into psychosis.
Right. Well, like that video that I sent you, I think it was last night, or
Hmm.
morning, of the girl that had the schizophrenia,
Yeah. Oh my
her
gosh.
the wrong medication constantly, and it was just making her worse and worse, until she was trying to harm herself.
I know. Because they want it to stop. They want to hurt themselves, not necessarily because they want to die. They want the voices to shut up. And like with my sister, she said certain words would trigger her. And it was the strangest thing. We asked her, we were like, well, what words? And she was like, big, red, the word building is the strangest thing. And it
Mm-hmm.
was like, why? And who knows? Who knows why? Who knows? But, she's not here anymore. So she got tired of it. She
So,
was paranoid schizophrenic, my sister.
right.
And she first jumped off Pilot Mountain. and broke her vertebrae in her back, so she never walked again. And then she was successful in a nursing home years later.
One of my good friends growing up was not schizophrenic, but they were bipolar. Um, Very emotional person. And it could go either great because they were excited about little things, and they were so loving about, if you got a promotion at work, they were like, oh my gosh, when nobody else would care, but it could also be very negative to where, like, if they got their feelings hurt, they felt it so strong, and ultimately she ended up taking her life in her early 30s.
Now, I feel like him becoming an internet troll, how ironic. Um, because I feel like maybe he was projecting the whole time.
Mm, I don't know. I mean, I've thought about that, but then I just think about just this generation, and it's just so easy for people who are
What do you
bored
mean?
going on in their life to hop on, behind a mask, behind a screen,
Yeah,
mess with people for fun, It's so many do it. That's why there's been TV shows about it and episodes of, about these keyboard warriors and social justice warriors and stuff, And I think
yeah.
it just fills a void in their life because when you're not out working, you're not out being a productive member of society, then, it gives them something to do. And it makes them kind of feel like they have a voice, like they're important in a way. Kind of like Southern Yankee said, vanity in America is an all time high, I believe. Everyone wants to be popular no matter what. Well, if you
You
want,
don't feel like this gave him an out to be a bully?
I've seen a lot of photos from his younger days all the way up, and I know how kids can be, and I do believe he was probably bullied. And so he tried to find love, at a very early age, with various different girls, and he didn't get the fulfillment that he wanted that way, and so he got a fulfillment with being an online troll.
October says, my son threatened to drive the wall. I contacted police and we three ways. They met him where he stopped and took him to the hospital for evaluation. If they can catch it in psychosis, then that's the best way. Then, yes, you can intervene. I don't mean pick it on a sunny day when he's been picking roses. I mean, pick a day when he's being a menace to society and you go and you get him locked up. And then, then they take him on to mental health. And I'm saying this from experience. When I was raising hell, my husband would call the law and they would come get me and they would say, ma'am, do you feel like you need to go get some mental health? And I was a responsible adult and said, yeah, I ain't thinking right. I'm kind of crazy today. But, is he responsible enough to say, I might not need some help?
Yeah, I think October 50's point too is that, you're not always crazy or insane or have a mental illness or something to be driven so far emotionally to do something you would never want to do or think that you would do. And I've seen a lot of people comment this, that, oh, when I was young, I threatened this, or I really wanted to hurt myself because of a bad breakup. You know,
Mm-hmm.
teens take things really hard. People in their early 20s take things really hard. Now he's a little kind of past that age of where he should still be that way, but there's all kinds of reasons, why he might be still acting like a child. Um,
Right.
but it is kind of normal, for someone to, during a breakup, when they think that their whole world just came to an end because they love this person so much, to say and do things they would never do, you know?
True.
And I think everybody probably knows someone who did, if they didn't personally themselves when they were young,
Yeah, well, this worries me because on Benny's wall, he says that there's a girl that he's done it. He's done this before. So, that was 7 years ago. So that tells me that this is an ongoing problem, and this is an ongoing problem that mom knew about.
Yeah, because there's obviously there's never been anyone in his life to say, I get how you're feeling, and I know he feels like that you're the end of the world and blah blah blah, but you can't act this way. And show him some real discipline, some tough love, and get him the proper help that he needs to manage his emotions and his feelings. That should have been done a long time ago if he has a history of being this way.
What does this mean right here?
Rap
Rap has. What does that mean?
until that stops, he will never succeed. I think what they're saying is that he's had so many enablers, supporters, people
Oh,
who stand by his side through his bad behavior, to where he feels like he's been condoned to do what he does, and he's not
I
going to.
want to talk about that for a minute.
Mhm.
Why? Why did Nicolina and Benny and Liz and BDAC shroud him in such secrecy? Why?
I'm assuming he was a good little weapon for a while.
Okay, that's what I thought. I knew you were going to say that. That's what I thought.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was a good troll.
Hmm.
He made them a lot of money. Oh, did I just say that out loud? Damn.
Because
I
he
just said
was
that.
entertaining and he was funny at times. I mean, I didn't watch him until probably a month ago,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he could be, and he did also knew how to come off as sounding caring about other people's problems and issues, you know, and sympathetic of others.
If I didn't say hello to you, it's only because I don't want to be rude to my panel guests. Thank you for coming, and I'm glad you're here.
Hi,
Sarah
Constant.
says, I have a feeling we will be hearing from the ex soon. If he does anything else, I might call mom myself. I mean, come get your kid. I mean, that's how I feel about it. Come get your damn kid, because it's what we did to Victor, isn't it, Ken? That's what we did to Chris Adler, isn't it? Come get your damn menace to society now. And they were adults. I mean, they had raised a couple of thugs. They had never been anything but a dope dealer slinging dope. So, and that's all been proven.
.com.
And one will never wake up again. I
I
bet she wishes she had listened to us.
didn't he say that he didn't even know himself that there was a third child? Like this was the first he'd ever heard of that when he heard his mom say that.
But I thought Nicolina said that he had a third child, so it couldn't have been too big of a shocker.
Oh, I don't know. I never listened to anything she's ever said.
Yeah, a couple of months ago, I could swear she said he had three. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't think he was as shocked as. Ooh, I don't think he was so shocked. I don't think he was so shocked. And the thing that just makes me so mad is how his mother was putting her children to a higher regard than Smokey's, and this hot potato thing, and then him contacting her daughter afterwards. If she would come get him, that wouldn't have happened. If she would have come get him, he wouldn't have been on panel. You know?
Jimbo, I think that Gypsy's feeling that way because of her own personal, um, you know, situation that she had with her own daughter. But I do think that we all do agree that some adult in his life should have
I
had
feel like somebody needs to come get him for her and her kids' safety.
or had
And I will
around.
blame the parents because she's not coming and getting him for Smokey's safety. She's playing hot potato with them. You know, she's the only one he's going to go with.
Has anyone even heard of from him in the last couple of days? Like, has he been on
You
somebody?
mean yesterday?
He was okay.
Yeah, he was on what's her name? What's her name's panel that she was on yet, or he was on yesterday, y'all? What was her name? He says, A lot of people say things they don't know or they know they just lie about on YouTube. I don't know.
Right, Jimbo. That's what we've been saying. That he's 30 years old. Like, his
Right.
people around him, panels that he goes on, should be telling him that he needs to check himself in somewhere and get some help. You know.
Yeah. Get off the streets till you are right ahead.
Yeah. If he's 30 with the mind of a 15-year-old and super immature, then there needs to be some type of adult figure that pushes him. I know they can't make him do it, but pushes him into getting help. And then if they have the proof of him wanting to unalive himself, then that needs to be called in immediately. I mean, I've done it myself to a
Mm-hmm.
guy. I had a friend, that was 10 years older than me, but he went through a hard time and he started sending me emails about how he wanted to unalive himself. And I called the police and I gave them copies of the emails, and they went and picked him up, and he was in the facility for 72 hours. And it was that easy.
Because that's her son, Jimbo. That's why. If 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 the people in my daughter's scenario, and it sounds very similar, had come and gotten their pieces of shit, my daughter would be alive. That's why. Because we called and said, come get your kid. He's down here causing all kinds of trouble. Come get your kid. And she didn't want to do it. And she didn't want to do it. And she didn't want to do it. No, you deal with it. You deal with it. He's your son. Come get him until her children are safe and she is safe. She's the only one that can.
But remember, we have to take in consideration that there might have been some abuse or something in that situation where the
Yeah.
mom herself might be afraid of him. Maybe that's why she said, I
But
don't want
then
to.
she can go and get someone on her behalf. It has to come from her. She's the mom. I can't go do it. She has to. If she doesn't want to or she's afraid to, she needs to go get someone who can. She can't just leave him out here as a menace to society. That's not the right thing to do for society.
Jimbo wants to know why you think she's the only one that can.
Because he has a relationship with her. He obviously holds her to some regard to keep her informed. And because she is the liaison to his children. I mean, and she's his mom. I mean, it holds weight big time. Like when we had to go get my mom committed, and when we've had to do it with my siblings, mom, whether she was nuts or not, had to come along with us. And they were adults. I was an
Sarah,
adult,
for
and
her
it
to,
was my mom.
for the
Not if
mom
you're
to
going
be,
to come up here and be mean to me.
for the
I
mom
mean,
to be able
I'm going to
to
have my own opinion on my own channel.
for the mom to be able to call in a 5150, Sarah, she would have to have the proof sent to her.
Yeah, right up here. Well, there is proof. It's online.
Oh yeah,
It was videotaped.
he
There's
did
tons of
that
proof.
live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gypsy, what if the mom brings him home? I didn't say bring him home. I never said bring him home. I said go get him put in a facility, away from society until he's right, or someone else is going to be victimized, just like it happened with my daughter. If they had come and gotten their pieces of shit, she'd still be here. Is he added to the stream? There he is. Hey, Jimbo.
Hello. Rap claims that he has some relationship with his mother.
He does have a relationship with his mother?
That's what he claims. Yeah, that's what you're saying. And but he's the only one that says that. His mother sure didn't say that. I mean, according to Rap, his mother's been hiding his 10-year-old son from him. So
But how
what
did
kind
she
of
know that there
relationship
was
do they
even an
have?
issue?
Huh?
And how did she know that there was even an issue?
I don't know. Does she have YouTube?
I thought that he had contacted her.
Yeah, I like she didn't sound like to me like she had been contacted by Rap on her phone call with the Dove. Maybe he tried to get in contact with her, but she clearly wanted the answers because she has no idea. She has no
Do you
idea.
mean sanctioned, Sarah? Do you mean sanctioned? Is that what you mean?
And this guy, you know, like, and then listen, I'm not taking up for nobody in that situation. I just
Then who's
don't.
going to go get them?
Who whose job? Why is it her job to go get a 30-year-old man who obviously they don't have anything to do with? Like
Somebody's got to.
listen, I've done some, research months and months ago on by myself, looking at family Facebook pages, and he's not part of it.
His mother had no idea.
The child that
He's talking to on the recorder.
they get every other weekend, he's not part of it. He's not part of anything they do. So to me, it sounds like, they don't have a relationship like that.
Then
Now,
how did she even know there was a situation?
Like I said, like, how many people are on YouTube? Like, now, obviously, Maria, his ex that he just lived with for 7 years, has a relationship with Rap's mom. And obviously, she's on YouTube.
Okay.
So, I mean, she could have heard it anywhere. Maria might have told her.
But she called Smoky Mountain Mama and said she was worried about her son. Why was she even worried?
Well, it's her son. She don't want him killing.
Okay, well, she's worried that she's going to get him.
What can she do?
She needs to go put him in a facility somewhere like we had to.
You can't put somebody in a facility. Like, he's been there. Smokey had him put there. He convinced the doctors there's nothing wrong, and they let him out like 2 or 3 days later. Like, he knows.
I would be terrified that he would contact my daughter again, though. I mean, we have to do something. Something has to be done.
Well, with Baker acting, all you have to do, like I said, is show the text or the proof that trying to unalive themselves or talking about unalive himself happened. There's no amount of times that this can happen. So if he's convincing the doctors, I'm fine, but they say, oh, yeah, well, then why did you write this text? Why did you make this recorded phone call? Why did you do this YouTube live showing this? You're obviously not all right. And then he comes back and he says, because I was trying to scare people or I was doing a joke or whatever, they can then call the authorities on him for that. But he cannot keep convincing them that he's perfectly okay when he keeps winding up back in there because he's sending this stuff to people and they have the proof.
Right. I mean, we can dress it up and we can say, we can call the cops. Like, why don't we call the cops? I did the other night.
Because she's his mom. She just her relationship to him carries weight.
His mom, but legally that don't mean nothing. Like, the cops will do just as much for his mom as they will for me, as they will for you. Anybody. Like, she's his mother, but he's 30 years old. Like, we can't
But she just told you about the Baker Act.
Well, that's what I came up to.
There are ways to have it done.
Then why aren't we having it done? Let's do it. Let's do the Baker Act.
I was going to say I have experience with calling it and having them sectioned. I've had a relative sectioned 2 times, and all I did was have to call the police and report the unsafe behavior and tell them about it. And my sister was manic bipolar, BPD, borderline personality disorder, and having mania. And I was able to handle it over the phone. She was here from Alaska on a trip, and she was in a hotel acting up, and they were able to get an ambulance and bring her to the hospital to have her sectioned. 72 hour hold.
Oh, shut that door.
But you have to have some proof that there's a danger or a threat was made or something like that. And I don't know what the mom knows. That wouldn't be my kind of place.
Was the antifreeze not enough?
That I would think that should be looked into, and I would think that would have already been done the other night. So I mean, I don't know why it wasn't.
That
Well,
was
I called.
that wasn't antifreeze. I'm going to do my own demonstration later to show y'all that wasn't antifreeze.
Well, I
Yeah.
called myself that night that went down. I was asked if I was family. I said no. I sent over what I had, but my problem was I couldn't give them a location of
Location. That's what I'm asking for. That's what I'm saying. What
Yeah.
else did they ask for? They asked, where is he?
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
That's important to know. I knew where the hotel was where my sister was staying,
Right,
you know?
me too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But where's he at? He told his mommy he was living in a U-Haul, which we know is bullshit.
Right. And that might have been for a reason so she wouldn't call it in. Maybe there's a history. See, we have to consider
You
we
think?
don't know. We don't know how
Can
many
I
times
ask Jimbo a question? What do you think that we can do to help keep her children safe? How can we help?
Same thing I did. We keep calling and legally,
Say
I
it
mean,
again.
legally, what can we do? What can anybody do? You know, I've shown videos of a man with a gun threatening to put it up my ass and blow my brains out. And you know what they said? Until he shows up, there's nothing we can do. The video don't mean nothing.
Yep. Depends on the area, I would think.
Yeah, I feel like
they would pick them up here.
They would here too.
I
Yeah.
think they would have
They
done
don't
something when I called the other night because they were like about the stuff that I showed and stuff.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I did not know exactly where he was, and I think that was what the issue was. They're not going to go around searching for him.
No, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
It does, and yeah, it really does. And let me tell you this: like, who's to say that they did not? And he didn't take that cup and say, "Look, I was playing a joke. Take a
Yeah.
drink. It's
Yeah,
not antifreeze."
Mhm.
Who's to say that didn't happen? Because that's what I think happened.
If he didn't
You
go
think it was just like a Johnny Knoxville type thing?
It was a stunt.
Right,
It wasn't
stunt.
antifreeze. He's trying to make Smoky Mountain Mama feel sorry for him, and he's trying to destroy her feelings because her husband, he and her children went there and found him. Do you know that?
Well, how can we keep them? I mean, I don't know what we can do
I mean,
if we
there's
can't.
nothing we can do. You know, we can put awareness out there, which is what we're doing, but like blaming his mom ain't the thing. Like I really don't think she can do anything more than we can. And who's to say she hasn't tried? I mean, if she
Yeah.
reached out to Smoky Mountain Mama, how do you know she didn't reach out to the police in the area?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be best to forward all the stuff that we see like that. That's a danger to the mom to let her do it because she has more pull, you know.
Oh, yeah. He likes to see.
I think that we've even as siblings had to hire a lawyer to get something done with my mom permanently so that because she was a danger to society. We had to do something with her.
Yeah. How old's your mom?
Well, she's gone now, but years ago we had to like go to the court and have her put in it was an assisted living where they made sure she took her meds because she was down at the shelter and owned a house. So she was like living at the shelter, but owned a home and was threatening people. And they were like, she can't stay at the shelter threatening people. Hey, girls. So we had to. Hey, girls.
Yep.
Yeah, when I had my friend Baker acted for the help because of the emails that he was sending me, he tried to tell them that he was just joking too, that he was just trying to get my attention and he was just joking. Now they did not call the cops on him for that because he is mentally ill. He's got behavioral health issues. You know, he's like not all there. You know.
You could show a history of that, and you know, and like with your mom, I'm sure you was able to show a history of that too.
Yeah.
There's no history of rap other than just recently, right?
Yeah, but they did end up keeping my friend for the 72 hours. Actually, he actually stayed longer than they told us it was going to be 72 hours, but he actually stayed 2 weeks before they let him go because the act of him just jokingly trying to scare me in that way.
Yeah, it's supposed to be minimum of 72 hours, and then
Right.
you,
It
Hey
proved
guys,
to them that he was crazy for even doing that. And they wanted him to understand. And he had to go through this program while he was there for the 2 weeks, where he had to pretty much do a test and write out, show that he understood that telling someone you're going to harm yourself to get attention is not the way to go, and that that's an act of insanity, you know?
hey, can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
Guys, today I went and got my marriage license. Do y'all see this? Later today I'm going live because I have some stuff I want to say.
okay. I didn't know you was going.
I was going to discuss it later with you, but on this marriage license here, it tells you my age and my husband's age.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want y'all to get real close right here.
Yeah, this is the wrong audience. That's Griff.
Well, I know, but I'm sure he's watching. I'm 17. He is 19. I am not 12. I am 17. I just wanted y'all to see that, just because. And
Well, it's
also,
pretty sad that you had to do that.
well, I wanted it anyway because I'm gonna hang it on the wall. And
Aw.
about you talking about his mom, no, she cannot do anything to him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he's 30. He's never
30
had any
years
trouble,
old.
like with his mental health or anything that I know of.
They will not do anything to him. Me and my family have been trying to do something with my brother for a while, and all they tell
Really?
me is that he is an adult, and we are not over him. And until he wants help, there is nothing we can do. So this
I
is
think it
not.
Well,
varies
without
state to
naming
state.
names or anything, there's another scenario that just happened recently that just popped into my head. There's a guy that lives in the neighboring town, and he supplies the town with fentanyl, opiates, and that sort of thing. Okay, so one of his friends, who was also a student and friend and Boy Scout, that was with our family and all, and my son played with our family, grew up with my boys. He was dumped by the Yadkin River when he OD'd at his house, and nothing was ever happened, no charges or anything. Then he comes down here, and the Bojangles next to me, he arm robs with a gun. Finally, they arrest him. I go digging and sleuthing and come to find out he is related to someone I went to high school with. So I messaged him and I said, you need to do something about this menace to society that y'all have raised, because this has happened. A boy has come up dead on his watch. And he said, we're not going to let him out. We're going to not bond him out. We're going to let him sit there and stay from the armed robbery and get him help. That's the sort of intervention I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Don't, send him money. Don't, what's the word that y'all use? Enable him anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that definitely needs to stop. That definitely needs to stop. And I mean, I can compare. I'm not going to do that today, but yeah, enabling criminals,
Right.
is horrible. And with that guy, he committed an armed robbery, so they were able to keep him.
Right. Well, maybe that's what has to happen. A major crime has to happen for him to be, but don't go bail his ass out if he does.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think laws vary state to state what they'll do too.
Definitely.
Because I called in and it was easily done. She was picked up right away. All I had to do was say that she was displaying unsafe behavior, saying that she wanted to unalive herself, and bam, 72-hour hold against her will 2 times, really easily.
Yeah.
There's another issue, that, and I don't really want to talk about it or bring it up because it's we don't know what happened, but we do know that the situation with his sibling
Yes.
was a
How
sore.
old was he when that happened?
I'm not sure.
'Cause I feel
I
like
thought he
he's
said
stuck
10.
there mentally.
Yeah, I think he said 9 or 10. Yeah, I think so.
It was around 9 or 10, and that would cause a lot of trauma to anybody naturally.
It would, and I reckon he's the one who discovered, and
Well,
and
there you go.
this you got to remember the source, but 777 had said that that was the reason why there was no good relationship between his mom and Rap, and that was said when that first split came up with them two,
Mm-hmm.
and or those two. Sorry for my improper grammar, but
It's all
anyway,
good.
yeah, you never know. Like there's, and especially today's society, there's so many screwed up relationships between parents and child.
Absolutely.
For me, if it were my child, 30, 40, 50, if I was still alive, I'd go there and smack the shit out of him and bring him home. Or put his ass in jail. One of the two. But, everybody's not me. And everybody,
We all handle things differently.
talk to 10 people,
Absolutely.
you're going to get 10 different answers,
Can I say
Yep.
something real quick, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
As long as you don't say nothing bad about me.
Oh, well, never mind then. No, I'm joking. I see a lot of people in the chat, they're upset with Gypsy on putting blame towards Rap's mom. And I want to say that these things
I
are
haven't
triggering.
noticed.
These things that happen here are triggering for a reason. Like everybody uses
Yeah,
that word, trigger
Oh,
warning,
I didn't even have my chat on.
but people forget what a trigger actually does to people.
absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Gypsy lost a daughter, and she
Yeah,
said at the very beginning of this video that she feels responsible that she didn't do more.
right.
So in her mind, from her perspective on
Her
this,
perspective,
she
yes.
wants the mother to do more for Rap, so the mother doesn't end up one day feeling like how she feels. Okay,
Yeah.
Right.
this is
Oh,
That
her
I totally
connection.
get.
feelings, you
Yeah,
guys.
I totally got that when I first came
I,
on.
I understood that, but we know her. Like, I have a different feeling towards it too, and that's all right. We all would do something different.
Yeah,
Right. I just want people to realize when this, with the great stuff and the wanting to unalive himself stuff and all the drama that is in with this is real life, and it does trigger people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Absolutely does.
it them go in their mind and see things through their eyes and their perspective that somebody else may not have. We have to be understanding and loving with one another and try to see through the mind of someone else instead of just
Oh
being
yeah.
so defensive all the time.
That is a big thing. I support that all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time. Yes.
And as
And
long as
if I could just interject, there
huh?
is
That's your
there
channel.
is, huh?
I said, huh? That's your channel.
Like Chris Sadler, if his mama had come and gotten him into rehab and gotten him some help, he would not be a literal vegetable. And he's going to be a vegetable for the rest of his life,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
from
There's so many
slinging
stories.
dope and screwing over the wrong people. And
Yeah.
now he's, she has to feed him through a tube.
Yeah.
And I bet she wishes that she had gone and gotten her menace to society
Oh my
and he
God.
was an adult.
Yeah.
I
And
can also answer. Yeah.
that's why I feel so lucky every day. I'm like, my kids aren't in trouble. My two adult children aren't in trouble. And I don't feel like my underage children will ever be that way either. I feel blessed and lucky for that. Um, you know, uh,
Yep.
but everybody doesn't have that, and it is, if you try to put yourself in those shoes, you do see things from a different perspective, and and you never know what somebody's going through,
Right.
like,
And I feel like on here, people get caught up in the mob mentality thing. So if
Mm-hmm.
everybody hasn't come to an agreement on this is what we're going to do, we're going to crucify this person because of this situation. And if you don't agree with it, we don't want you here. That is
Yes.
insane to me
Me
because
too.
everybody sees things in a different way because of their own life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And
right,
I
right,
try to see through
that
all. I try to see through all's eyes, everybody's, and why they think that way too.
people that
yeah,
come from the true crime side of YouTube are more apt to understand this. Like, because you're all following a case. The case is horrific. and it triggers people in different ways because of scenarios that, things they went through in their life, and people understand that. But on this side of YouTube, it's like mom mentality. You don't believe like everybody else believes, and get out of here with that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
you're right.
really think
Definitely.
that way on my channel and let people have their thoughts. There's so many things going through my mind when you said that about the mama. Like, what if there were fights? What if this mama went there and she got shot by that person or something? There's a lot of reasons why a mom can't go rescue, and that's okay. They might be afraid of their kid. They might have tried 10 times
Let
before.
me throw
There's a
this
lot of,
out there too.
yeah.
Are you on?
And you
Put
know,
it
she
on.
You're
takes
making me
care of
echo.
3 of his kids. You
It's
know.
turned on.
Just remember
Imagine.
to always be a critical thinker. Like, I
Yep.
feel like if everybody would learn to be a critical thinker, then people would be open-minded to other people's perspectives, and they wouldn't
Less
just
arguing.
jump to crucify someone when they hear some bad things happen. And
Hmm.
Jimbo, there's multiple channels out there that say complete lies about you all the time. you
Hmm.
know and the problem that you have on YouTube isn't coming from the one person who's spewing all the lies. It's coming from all the people that listen and believe it because they can't think for themselves,
Yep.
right?
Or do the research, or go check it out, or go hang out and see. We see
Right,
what we see what we see with him.
right.
Let me
So,
make this
Maybe
point
people.
real quick. If I can make this point real quick.
hmm
Jimbo, imagine Rap being at the movies right next to your son, sitting in a movie theater seat right beside your son, and they become friends. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He needs removed from society
Oh,
so
I
that
agree.
you get what I'm saying?
I agree, 100%. Yeah. Um, and I think that's what we all need to try to help with.
yeah.
Um, and I'm gonna force him out of this community. Like, if he tries being in this community, I'm gonna force him out. Um, I'll make that my mission. Hang on just a second, y'all.
I feel like that's not a threat at this moment, but things can change day to day around here.
Hey, Timmy.
Hey,
Kimberly,
Jimmy.
yes, I try not the whole judge thing because I am a believer that there's two, three, four, five sides to a story, and then
And
there's truth.
100 million more perspectives and thoughts and what this person would do. Just because you would do this doesn't mean it's the only way
Yes, and
or the
sometimes
reason you
it
think
is
this.
hard to wrap your mind around a choice that somebody made. Like, I
Right.
don't understand why cops weren't called on day one, and why things were done differently. I don't understand that, but I try to keep my mind open to it and think maybe there's information I don't know.
That's exactly right. There's information we don't know and we don't have to know on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And just because people think she's not doing something, why didn't she do this, this, and that? We don't know that she's not working on things behind the scenes, and it's not our business unless she chooses to tell us that. I see that a lot, and I just saw a lot of horrible comments the other day, really crucifying her, and making her the bad person when nobody really knows what she's doing.
Right. Yeah, the whole world is group therapy. Really, what the whole world just needs to remember is
Why are you leaving,
that
Jimmy?
to start living
This
out
is what I'm scared
themselves.
about right here. There will be more victims, and there were that very night her daughter being brought into it with narcissistic triangulation being brought into it, and anybody that you know listens to the influence,
Hmm. I
trying
think
to
that
make
was
it
a
all, yeah.
I think that was a desperation move, manipulation tactic out of desperation to try to get back in.
We
If you
all
talk,
see that and feel that because of being watching Ernie spiral.
mm,
Like, how many has been in the path of women used and then hurt, used and then hurt, and it keeps going on and on and on and on and on because of all the enabling and nothing ever being done. You
mm,
know, so that's why we all have that perspective on, oh my gosh, he needs off the streets right away before there's a next victim too. I mean, that's
mm,
just one example. because we saw how, one man hurt multiple people.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that, you know,
yeah.
Which
You
is
know,
why I
and
think it's
Ernie's
really
one of those ones
important.
who has a large. Well, he had a large following of people, and um, you know, clear clear evidence from at least of accusations from mothers of young daughters who said Ernie was inappropriate with them and or touched them, and still people shrugged it off like, no, that ain't true. Ernie says it ain't true, so it ain't true. Um,
Mhm.
so these people have that charisma behind the screen or on screen, you larger than life, and that's how they get in and hurt people. And we have the power to take this away from him.
right.
Like, rap, we're taking it now. You ain't coming back here. Um,
I really hope that the ex that contacted, I think it was on Benny's page, I hope that that comes out because I think that could solidify a lot of thoughts and,
yeah, her and
what's going on here.
texting each other.
Who is?
Her and Smoky Mountain Mama are texting each other.
Oh, thank goodness, because I really think that's important to get that out there, and maybe if she's comfortable, if Smoky Mom is comfortable, if that lady is willing to tell her side in the stories, I really think it would solidify things around here, and possibly potentially um, help change other minds that don't get wrapped up into it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people really want to hear what she has to say. I
Yeah,
certainly do.
yeah,
Sugar
I do
pie,
too.
grape is a major crime and needs to be dealt with criminally. And here's the thing about that. Okay, if off of YouTube, if everything stayed off of YouTube, and Smoky Mountain Mama decided that she does not want to put a stink on Rap's life for the rest of his life over it, she's not traumatized, whatever, that's great. But since it was brought publicly to everyone's attention, I feel like at that point in time, you have to be an example. You're an influencer at that point. Everything that
Hmm.
you do, a bunch of women are watching. And
Yes.
I feel like you need to do what is right to empower those women to when it happens to them, they do what's right.
Well,
Because
Yeah.
I'm not a woman, but I'm, have been observing, and what I've seen from her is somebody who is lost. And when I say lost, I mean like, yes, she's strong, but you know, she said some things and then changed her mind. Like, um, she wants to set an example, but she also, um, in her heart, she don't want to, take that father, if he's going to be a father, away from his kids for how many every years. And I'm just paraphrasing. She's not told me that. I'm just saying, like, I've seen her, like, tell Nicolina I don't want my name cut out of her mouth, and then she actually had a conversation with Nicolina, and now she feels like as many people who want to help spread it, even Nicolina, then that's good. All people can spread the word, um, and I think she's strongly contemplating going and filing charges.
Yeah, she's
Uh,
processing and in shock, and everybody deals with that their own way in time.
I know
It's
that that
like I
is very
said,
scary.
yeah.
but like her daughter's 12, right? I think 12.
Yeah.
So
yeah, stop.
if she does, if he fights it and they go to court, then her daughter's going to know.
Hmm.
You know, and right now she doesn't know.
Well, it's definitely a nasty situation, and I understand everything that you just said about. Like, I get that, but those are all feelings that you are allotted to have when you've done something privately. Once it's publicly in front of the whole world, at that
Hmm.
point, you are now in a role to lead other women by your example. And that's the issue that I have is like, what if there's a young 15-year-old who happens to jump on and is watching? and she's just recently been through this, and now she's like, well, she didn't, so I'm not going to, you
But
know.
the issue I have
I
is we don't
wonder.
know if she does. We don't know if she did, and people keep assuming, so we don't know, and it maybe
Right.
isn't our business unless she tells us. She might come out and say, I did that 3 days ago. We have to wait and see what she does, I think. You know what I mean?
I wonder if Smoky Mountain Mama was cordial to him because the kids were in the next room, and she didn't want to have a hoot nanny with the kids there.
I assumed that.
That's exactly what I think happened.
Yeah,
I think it was shock and processing. Yeah, the kids have now built relationships. There was a lot going on.
Yeah,
because
I'm
I
sure she didn't want them to hear them fight over sex.
Hmm.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would have done the same if my kids were in the house. So I totally
Me
understand
too.
that part of it.
And it's
Yeah.
always easier to say what we would do, but we're not the person in her particular situation. If
That
everyone could remember that.
that's exactly right. That's what I say. Like anybody who says, "Well, she should do this, she should do that," I don't agree with any of that.
Yes,
I'm not. I don't. I'm not her, so I'm not going to.
exactly.
You should do this. Um, when I have talked to her, I haven't said, "Hey, you should go press charges."
Right.
Not my decision.
It's
Um,
probably annoying for her to read everybody saying what she should do when she can do
Going to
what she
press
wants.
charges is hard to do, especially when you've got children too, and you don't want them to hear it.
I
Hmm.
wouldn't tell her what to do. What I would tell her is what I just told you guys about the fact that there's a lot of eyeballs on her watching, and she's put herself in a role right now. And
Yeah,
y'all remember the Me Too movement? So many women came out and they were scrutinized for it, or they got a lot of support and they were interviewed, and it was
Right.
everywhere, magazine, television. It
Remember
wasn't.
Matt Lauer? Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was
hmm,
such a mess, but it was also very empowering at the time. Once they chose to come out with their story, they knew at that point in time they were now a role model for the situation.
Yeah, it was like a new bra burning. We were
Right.
allowed to talk about it.
And so they had to be an inspiration to everyone else who was going through what they went through at that point in time,
who
you
wants
know,
to be a role model for being raped?
and well, how you handle it.
That's
Oh, by
I
true.
the way,
think presentation is everything. Presentation is everything.
Yeah,
You
how
know,
you handle it.
you can say that word on YouTube. There's no strikes or no channel taken down. You can say that word.
which
Okay.
one? The R one?
Yeah, you don't have to be in front of it and say great.
Hmm.
Um,
But
I
I
get
would just let her know that she's got a lot of people there to support her, to back her up, whatever the process of going through it is, we'll be there for her through it. Because I do know, that the courts can be horrible to you. They make you feel more like a victim than you felt in the first place.
they
What
will.
about him going to another platform?
Well, I'm not on any other platforms.
We can't prevent that really, but in the end, the whole point of it is to do your best to make sure it doesn't happen to someone else.
I mean,
You
he's
know,
got 150 sock accounts, they say.
Yeah, um, as long as it's not rap. Um, what's he gonna know? When his little squeaky little voice comes up, we're gonna know who it is.
Do y'all remember about a year ago, Ernie had a show and it was with Rap, and Rap had a voice changer that made him sound like a little boy? Do y'all remember that?
no.
And
I don't.
Ernie was showing us how easy it is for Rap to talk to children online. Y'all don't remember that? Do you,
Eh?
Sarah?
I don't think so.
And he showed a picture of Rap back then, but we were told that wasn't him. But he said, could you imagine this picture? And he altered it to look like a little boy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
remember
yes,
that? And
yeah. I
then he put
remember
the little
that.
boy. He said, would you believe it that it was a kid? And I was like, yeah, I would.
Yeah, rap's not interested in little kids though. He's interested in single women with money that work.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, he don't want a kid. He wants somebody established and has financial services that or what he would
Be
think would
taken care of.
service. Yeah, yeah. So, you know, Ernie thinks everybody's after little kids for some reason. But, you know, Ernie's got a problem. And, you know,
Did
that's
you see what
So,
Jack said? She said sex crime unit called her 3 times wanting her to follow through, but the advocate at Family Justice warned her not to, and it was her ex that did it. I've heard stories like that through my organization, and I think that it's crazy that they tried to convince you
that's weird.
that going through the process of standing up for yourself is going to be harder on you than what you went through. It's almost like they try to tell you, oh, forget about it, you're okay.
They do. Yep, they do.
That would never happen in my state.
Smear campaign.
And here's another thing they're going to say. You know, they're going to warn you, like, okay, now listen, prepare yourself. If you go through this long trial and you're found not guilty, you're a false accuser in the eyes of everybody. So, you know, I don't know, man. I think I don't even think she really wanted to do anything publicly. Like, she gave him chances for days to leave her alone and warned him that if he didn't, she was going to go public.
I think people forget that part or don't know it, that it was a last resort and it wasn't like the plan, you know?
Her little message that she put on his under his account with his name that he deleted within 5 minutes. Yeah, that was don't.
You're breaking up. You're
Oh, I thought
breaking
that was
up.
me. I thought that was my
No, I
connection.
can't.
Thanks.
That's Jimbo.
Yeah, it might be
I
me. It
can't.
might be people getting weak.
I hear
We
you
I
didn't
now.
get to
It
hear.
just a
We
little.
didn't get to hear what you said.
where did I leave off?
We didn't hear
Well, you
most of
broke
it.
up. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, you know, she left that message on his YouTube account, and that was, you know, like, that was your warning, dude. Like, quit. And
Yeah, right.
he still didn't move out of town. He stayed in the hotel, and you know, and then there was messages between him and her daughter. You know, the same thing he dogged Ernie out for, and what
Yes.
are you doing? But we got to go run some errands.
Is the bipolar?
Yeah, honey, you want to talk to her a minute?
Yeah. Hi, bipolar.
Are you coming on your own? Are you are you coming on your own channel later?
Maybe later. I want to come on there and dress the Molly thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll
I'm
make sure
gonna
I
come on
look out
there.
for it.
We miss you.
Yeah.
Hey, Thelma.
Maybe. I don't know. It's according to how busy I get. But
Y'all be
we might do something fun. I
We
might
hope you
let
do.
Molly do my makeup online. Maybe Molly to do Daddy's makeup tonight.
No, I'm not doing
That's
Bye, girl.
Maybe
Do
she
something
put
scary.
clown makeup on.
Do some scary Halloween makeup.
She probably enjoy that too. All right, girls.
they
Thank
do
you
that on
all.
TikTok.
All right. Thank you.
We'll see you. Thank you.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I was going crazy thinking that was my connection.
Lynn Carson said that Smoky Mountain Mom is not responsible for other people. I'm sorry if that offends people here, but it's the truth. It doesn't offend me that you feel that way at all, you know, because like I said, I'm open to other people's ideas and their perspective of things and stuff. It's just
Yeah, me
my
too.
personal opinion that if you go public on something at that point in time in a way that people are looking up to you, you know, and you want to try to handle it in the way that is going to benefit those that are watching, you know, and if you don't agree with that, then that's perfectly fine. I don't care. You're allowed to have your own thoughts and feelings. I don't think any less of you for it, you know.
Absolutely. The
One thing
more variety of opinions, the better is the way I see it. That's why I come live because, like, when Jimbo said, "No, wait a minute, you know, you shouldn't be mad at her," I want to hear other people. I want to. I know I'm not always right, and hearing everybody else keeps us grounded, don't you think?
Yes.
Well, it helps your own thought process too to understand why this person thinks this, and that, you know?
Yeah, because sometimes our minds just can't come up with all of the thoughts, you know. So talking with other people, you're like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Now I see it from a different light.
And that
So,
sometimes helps me change my own mind, and that's okay too. But I
And
would
it's
think,
helping me work through my trauma from
yeah,
talking about it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
helping me work through my trigger.
yes. Assume that you're not a self-centered, closed-minded person who doesn't, see how other people feel about things and accept those. And if you are um, open to things, and you really truly care about other people's feelings and thoughts, then you should be able to be understanding when other people have a different opinion from you.
And one thing I think would be important as a general, just a general thought I have, if people, where everyone does have their own opinions on what smoke, it seems like there's a lot of people saying what she should do, the way they phrase it. Just think about how your presentation is and how
Yeah,
you choose to write your words. If you think she should call the cops, maybe you could make it a suggestion. I recommend, instead of
right,
saying, you need to call blah, 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 just instead of telling people what to do, maybe just change. If you change your wording just a little bit, that can make it come across differently and not so abrasive, you know?
right.
Just because you would do it doesn't mean she should do it, but you can suggest it gently and it might be taken. And this applies to anything on YouTube that you say, or any social media. Just, just change. Think about your words carefully before you say it, because it can come across hurtful sometimes too.
Kimberly F said, probably like me
Right.
myself, because I had thought I was schooled in symbols after all these years. Well, don't kick yourself, Kimberly. And also remember, let's everybody remember that people make mistakes in life, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're an overall horrible person.
Right.
Everybody has good, everybody has evil. In my personal Christian beliefs, the reason why I need Jesus is because I'm not perfect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for people who don't believe that, they should probably at least believe in the yin and yang and the good and the evil. So no one's gonna be perfect their
Is that
entire.
your connection?
I don't know what that sounds.
Is that your connection going in and
To
out,
me,
or
it
mine?
sounds like someone's got a fire alarm. It sounds like a fire alarm.
Yeah.
Well, I keep hearing like Alicia's going in and out, and I don't know if it's my phone like taking it. Do you hear Alicia fine?
No,
I can
she's
hear a lot.
breaking up.
Oh,
Okay, I hear a lot of breaking up. I was making sure it
But I
wasn't my
also
phone
hear
again.
like a fire alarm. Do y'all hear a fire alarm?
yeah. When
Mm,
Jimbo was on, is when I first started hearing.
I hear something in the distance, far away, some sort of landscaping.
There,
Right?
it's came back.
It's Sarah. Look.
Okay.
It's me.
Yeah.
Well, it's very far in the distance. It's like a
Oh, is it?
landscaping. Yeah,
Well, don't
you
worry
hear it
about it.
loudly. You can hear it loud, or just hear it a little bit.
It
I
sounds
can
like a
move.
fire alarm going off behind you.
It's some kind of tool. They're like in the distance. It's pretty far away here. They're doing landscaping, I
Okay.
think. It's a machine, but I can try to move somewhere else.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying to Kimberly, like never kick yourself because you supported someone, because you probably supported them because you saw the good in them, the good side of things. Yeah,
The side of things they presented to you. Let's say it that way.
right, right. So
Right.
it's we're not all detectives out, and we can't see everyone's auras and see into their hearts and souls. So whenever you realize that somebody isn't the person that you thought that they were, you can't be mad at yourself for that. You live, you learn. Well, Ashley.com, YouTube actually won't, if they know that something happened and they see that, like they see the court papers of something, they won't even let that person on their platform.
I can say one thing about that. I don't know about, that whole incident with the drinking of the stuff. That is a reportable. The first thing I thought after the other stuff is, oh my goodness, you can get your channel taken down. If you do that on the platform, don't they take that down if you do suicidal stuff on the, can't you lose your channel for that?
Yes, you can.
I mean,
I was just
I would think it should be
unmonetized when I
gone.
talked about domestic violence the other day.
Oh, wow.
What, you don't have
They put
it's
they put
gone?
they they put limited ads on it, limited visibility.
So you don't have it anymore? I can't tell up here. Or just that video?
It was just the when I
Okay.
did a live about domestic violence, they put the yellow
Okay.
thing on it.
Oh, I didn't know that. So .com is saying that's not what I'm saying. Okay.
Oh,
Might have took that wrong.
Oh, okay. I think I know what they're saying now that I reread it. Yes, Lynn Carson, it's me.
Yeah, Jimbo was just here too. I think we had a pretty good discussion.
.com. I don't know if you've seen it, but I posted a Bible verse where it actually says how you handle a situation like this. And I posted it for everyone to see that it's like right there telling you how to handle a situation like this. You know, it's not it's not supposed to be public, but
It was a split in the moment thing that just happened. I don't think it was planned. It is what it is kind of thing. I really think in that moment she was kind of pushed into it, or felt like it. It's
yeah,
already been handled, but I don't think it was their plan.
yeah. At this point, it is what it is. You know,
It is what it is. Yes.
and then everybody's gonna have opinions, and everyone's gonna have feelings, and we just need to um, let our anger go towards each other
Mhm.
and
Yes.
love
Most
each other,
definitely.
like I said, listen to each other and realize that some people might be triggered, you know, and it might have brought back some emotional stuff to them, and they have some very strong feelings, and we need to accept those feelings that those people have.
Hmm. But it can also help with
yes, that's
what I meant.
Alicia.
It can also help with your presentation, like I was saying earlier, to not, anger somebody or whatever, because everyone thinks on their own, and try to understand why they said what they said
And I love
before.
how Gypsy, when she goes live with a problem, she always has a handful of solutions ready, and I think
Yes.
other channels creators can learn from that. Like, if you're going to come up and you're going to throw out a bunch of drama, this is going on, and blah, 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 instead of just riling everybody up to crucify or
Hmm.
riling everybody up to into a lynch mob type thing or something, how about coming out with some solutions? This is what we could do, blah, blah, blah. You know, choose what's best for you. I think that the whole community would
Right.
be able to sleep easier, their nerves would be better, and people could walk away with feeling, you know, inspired or calm after the live instead of going to bed angry or riled up, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Some resolute. This is what I'm trying to avoid. This right here. I don't want anybody to have to go through that, including Rap's mom.
Mm.
Right there. That's when it escalates.
That's
Because
what I first
he
thought.
he why
As
is
soon as
that
that
bubble
tape,
popping up? Huh?
as soon as I heard, as part of the interview, I didn't even listen to it all. I changed, I came into it late. I thought, oh my goodness, anything you say will be used against you. You're actually making things worse for yourself right now by doing this video, because it's now evidence, or can be, maybe.
Aw, thank you, Lynn Carson. Love ya.
Yeah, I like having going on panels, or on mine, or even Constance having varying opinion. It's okay. We're not all supposed to have the same thoughts.
Yeah, because
You
to
can
me
talk about
that's
it without screaming at each other, though.
it's titillating.
It's healthy. It's
Yeah, to me
healthy.
it's like brain food, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
there's
Because by the
people.
end of the
Agree.
show, I may change my mind. I may be
Right.
swayed. Isn't that what an influencer is all about? And Jimbo and you all have influenced me into thinking, let's give this mom some grace.
Yeah, you had a strong opinion at the start of it, and we all
Well,
said why
because
we would.
it happened just like that in my daughter's scenario. And
Mhm.
Right, and
we
we
begged them to
understood
come get
why.
their damn piece of shit. We were like,
We
you
all
know, we
understood.
housed him. He lived under my roof. And we were like, Maria, come get your damn kid. And,
Mhm.
you know.
But all of us that came up understood from a place where you were coming from and why you had your thought that that thought, and that's the kind of thing I was talking about. What we all have different thought process, and it comes to us differently from events that have happened in our life.
Right. I understood because I know Gypsy, so I understood right away why
Right.
she felt that way.
Yep. Yeah, that's where I was
I
going with
wanted
it
other
too.
people to understand why she was feeling that
Yeah.
way
I was gonna
before,
kind of do that if you didn't. Yep.
yeah, before people got angry at her, like, and I
Thank
think
you,
we should
Lynn
all do that.
Carson. I appreciate that.
I think a lot of my thought process is similar to yours at times, Alicia.
Yes.
Trying
Thank
to
you for
trying
their
to see.
$2 Cash App. I appreciate that
Oh,
so
look at
much.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that
see this
whole,
that I've got, the picture that I've got up. This is
Mhm.
what I'm trying to keep
Let me
from
see.
happening to another family.
Exactly.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yep. I just wish the whole mom mentality thing would stop on here. I know there's a few
Mm-hmm.
haters that are like, you're either for me or you're against me, you
I don't
know?
want to do that.
And when someone says something like that, or tells me I'm not loyal if I don't agree with everything they say or whatever, I'm going to
I have
run,
no idea why the Cash
you
App
know?
keeps popping up. I can't get it to
Hmm.
stop.
Ladies,
Hi.
I've got
Okay.
to jump down and start dinner.
I don't see it. It's not on the
Okay.
screen. See you,
It went
Alicia. Good to
away.
hear. Good to hear from you. Haven't
Yeah,
seen you in a while. I know you're
yes.
busy.
It was great to talk to you guys. I love you both.
We love
Thank you.
you.
We love you too.
Bye, everybody in
Thanks
the
for
chat.
keeping me grounded.
You do the same for me, girl.
Oh, that's nice.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Kiss Bella. Feet. I love baby feet. I love sweaty baby feet.
Oh, that got a little deep for a while.
Yeah, just the more I thought about it today, the madder I got, and I just went, "Blah!"
Mm-hmm.
Come get your damn kid.
Yeah.
But I guess I shouldn't think of it that way. It was just that way in my scenario.
Yeah.
So
There's just so much info that we don't know, and what past experience she's had, what she's already dealt with, there could be a relationship. There's just so much to the puzzle that we don't know, and reasons why. And the first thought I had was, oh my goodness, she's home with the babies. What can she do besides make
yeah.
a phone call? Maybe she
I would
doesn't have
go get him a
childcare.
condo if you got to. I don't
Yeah.
care. Just get him off the street.
Hmm.
Because I feel like he's desperate. And when someone's desperate and they have nothing to lose, that's when people get hurt.
Hmm.
Gypsy, because we can agree to disagree with no. Absolutely. Absolutely. My husband is a military man. And that God bless America. Not everybody gets to do this around the world.
Hmm.
Not everybody gets to have open minds. I
Yep.
think people are blind. Tell us more, Bingo.
That's why this kind of the way I like to do my channel too. Hear other
I said,
people's
kiss the
stuff.
sweaty baby feet.
Hmm.
I love sweaty baby feet. Alicia said, what did I say? Kiss those sweaty baby feet. We're talking to our adult son, John, today. And we were like, can we borrow your kids? Y'all are all grown up now, and Charlie hates us. So can we borrow a kid? It's like, well, they all got COVID. I'm like, oh, man. Just need to hear some stomping feet and bake some cookies for some kid. There's like neighborhood kids, and I'm all the time giving them stuff, and they look at me like, why is lady giving me things?
I was always the one that they all came to for food.
Really?
And all the neighborhood kids, can we have a cheese stick? Can we have? So I'd always have everything stocked the best I could. Yeah, I always ended up with all the kids in my yard. But you
Exactly
kind of
right,
miss.
Jackie.
There's.
You miss it when
Oh, I'm pushing for that big time.
and
I'm pushing for this
summertime when
beach.
they come in wanting the popsicles. Those dollar popsicles that you get a box of them for like $3.
Oh yeah.
I love that shit.
I might have to go in a minute, but I do love hanging out here, and this is my kind of thing, and you know.
Down Easter, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. He sounds desperate. You know, and
Yeah,
if he
that's
doesn't have a plan or a place to go,
hopefully.
that leaves what's it called? Idle hands. What is that they say? Idle
Um,
hands or the devil's workshop or whatever.
yeah, something like that.
Gypsy, as a society, should we be asking ourselves how could how we could help him? I'm thinking that, and I'm thinking how can we help her too? And the kids is what stands out. The number one thing is the kids. The kids
Yeah.
that his kids, her kids, and any kids in between. You know what I mean? That's my
Absolutely.
number one concern.
Yep. Kid safety.
I was gonna say that when Jimbo was on panel, because someone had said that yesterday that Ernie always had a backup plan. So if plan A went south, he moved on to miss plan B and then miss plan C. And there was always a honey on what is it? I got a honey on standby waiting just to say hi. You know, that's what I'm worried about. Yeah, I agree. This is where I think his trolling comes in. New York to LA. That's what I think. I think that is where he gets to project his anger.
Uh,
Putting laundry in there?
Well, I hope I didn't piss anybody off, but I mean, in my scenario, things could have gone a lot different if moms had come and gotten their menaces. So, you know, when you think about Menace, what is his name? Dennis the Menace.
oh, I
Um,
loved him.
yeah. Well, you know, if he were an adult and he always was into something, whose responsibility is he?
There's too many,
I know.
not enough information for that. You know what I mean? There's so many scenarios, so I couldn't give a flat answer without more information. You know.
Chaotic.
Oh, chaotic's here. I meant
That
to.
was
There was something I was
that
gonna
was
ask her.
my
I can't remember.
my vanilla ice. Got the honeys on standby, waiting just to say hi. Vanilla ice. The cost of treatment is the biggest. I know it. You know that's when
That's another
Canada
thing.
was part of my territory, and I went there several times. Once to Toronto, or several times to Toronto, but one time in particular, I went back to my room and I couldn't sleep. So I turned on the local television, and it was giving me information on if you're an addict or you're homeless, come to this dot 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 dot. And it was like their local government channel, and I watched it, and it was like a documentary showing how Canada takes care of their sick and takes care of their poor. And this was back in 19, let me think now, it was probably in 98 or 1999. And I thought, wow, you know, here's addicts, and they just get up and go to, you know, and it's all paid for. And I thought, wow, you know, we need to do better. His ego became so big, and so many held him up as some kind of king. Secretly, he knew what a bum and loser he really was. I want to know why they treated him that way. I want to know why. Is it because he was such a great troll?
I think there was a lure. He well, he was pretty good at the trolling. Yeah. I think he gained a lot of notice with the Ernie stuff, just for my own, what I saw anyway. I don't know if
It's
he did it long
it's the
before that.
power of Jackie, is the power of persuasive speech.
We'll see you, Kimberly. I haven't been in Discord. I don't really go in there much. I usually just go in for watch parties.
Did you guys see the video
I
thread
think
No, I
is
didn't.
it might be the video.
Oh, yes. The one that
the
I
young
sent.
the one where he was young with his girlfriend, the Britney one? Yeah, that was a little surprise. I didn't see the Coco attack. I never saw that. I saw somebody else say that in the chat earlier. I was like, attack Coco? Who would do that? It's just before my time, I guess.
Okay, sorry, they were looking for something. I didn't hear what you said. Say that
Okay.
again.
Somebody wrote in chat about right there, the one you highlighted. I never saw any attack on Coco. That kind of surprises me, but I don't know. This is before my time, I guess, or I didn't notice that.
I didn't know that either. When was that?
I can't see anyone attacking her.
Gypsy Canada also takes away your freedom of choice. Oh, I didn't know that. Pros and cons, and that's
Yeah,
They
definite.
give you something and then they take something away. And that, just like the girl.
Mhm.
Oh, what is that movie with Sean Penn and he's dead man walking and he goes, yeah, the government. He calls it the government. So me and Ken call it the government. Government.
Hi, Tien.
You ever seen that when he's on death row? Sean Penn?
No.
Dead man walking. Okay, Tien, thank you.
Okay. Wasn't
people's concern last 5 nights? Why the change? What's concern? I've always been worried about the kids.
And what changed?
My concern has always been the kids.
Yeah. You called her a scammer. I'm a scam. Oh, it was connected to the Tamari thing. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. I always do that.
That was when
you guys were having. Oh, you mean with Ernie? Are you Ernie?
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. It was.
Used to be's don't count anymore. They just lay on the floor till we sweep them away. That's another song, Chaotic. He called her a scammer.
Oh, hey,
scamming
voices.
with Maury. Canada isn't what it's cracked up to be. Druggies get free needles and diabetics. See, there you go. The government screws it all up. And the diabetics have to pay. It's backwards.
That infuriates
me.
Hey,
good to see you.
The diabetes stuff.
Huh. The government, they always screwing it up. You know?
I gotta find a crab. There's a crab in my car. I have to go find when I'm done talking to you. It's a whole Sarah incident happened earlier. I mean, I can tell you the quick story if you want something that's funny instead of all this crap.
She said, serenade me.
It's a Sarah-ism. I went to the beach earlier, right? And I was with my dog talking on the phone. I was actually talking to Chaotic. And I was, looking through the rocks. I went to find a spot where there are no people because I like to be alone and like find my own zen and stuff. That was my zen, my peace. I'm sitting there, and then on my way back, I'm going, wait a minute, there's no rocks. The tide was coming in. So I had to try to get my dog to get back to the beach, and I'm going, oh my gosh, it's coming in. And I couldn't climb the rocks. I had a dog with me. He's small and he couldn't get up and he refused to swim. The only option was he swims or walks through it.
So you were stuck?
I was stuck. So I was on the earbud talking to Chaotic. I'm like, you call for help if I fall. I'm gonna tell you.
I want to read this for October, baby. I was told 72 hours at knife point, naked. I tried convincing the man, the church with my mother, and that I had to call her to explain I couldn't make
Oh
it.
my
He
gosh, she was
finally
held.
did let me call my mother. I am so sorry, October baby.
So she
Wow.
meant she was held? Held.
Held at knife point,
Okay, that's what she meant,
naked,
yeah.
and I tried convincing the man to
Oh
church
damn,
with my mother.
that's crazy, October. Dang.
I'm so sorry.
That's like sounds like something from a movie. That's insanity.
My
Sorry.
mother did not pick up that something was wrong and said, "Oh, okay, that's okay."
Maybe one day you could do a story or something if it would help you.
I don't think I have ever told anyone about that event.
You might
But if I
feel
had
good.
acted appropriately, I might not have been brutally assaulted.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. Not
I
your fault.
already
You know,
know.
as women, I
There's
think
never
that
a
we all
fault.
blame ourselves because
Yeah, oh yeah.
societal role, we've always been subservient to a man. Maybe
Mhm.
because of Christianity, we've always been subservient to a man and second to a man.
Mhm.
That we put an abuse or an assault off on ourselves,
Mhm.
and we blame ourselves. You know,
Naturally, you question yourself all the time. What was it really that? Was it my fault? Did I do
hmm
anything? Did I? No, it's not your fault. I already knew right away. But that sounds like quite a story.
I'm very sorry, October baby. Actually, I think it depends what part of Canada you're in. I'm in the far west, so it's like no one knows who we are. But the more east you go, the services seem. I thought Toronto was gorgeous. I love Toronto. The shopping was great. The people were so friendly.
Glad to
And,
see you in here.
huh?
I said glad to see you in here, voices.
Yeah, definitely. Gypsy, I so wanted to come up and share my mother's angle with my oldest son. I need to figure out how to share without giving too much. Something I haven't shared. I may sometime soon. I can drop you a link. Do you want me to give you a link? Put it here if you want to come up. And if you don't, that's okay too.
I probably have to get off in a minute and fold these clothes. I could just talk to you all day. Who might come up?
When you check your email, let me know if it went through. It says failed, but it's in my. Hey, honey,
What?
she's trying to buy soap and she said it didn't go through.
I'll look at it as soon as I get finished. I'm making Charlie up.
If it said failed, then the email probably didn't go through to him. Did you check all the lettering, capitalization, and all that?
It's Cynthia Gobble at Gmail. Let me go put it back up.
Capital C? Yeah, it's probably best in
It's the
case something
ticker.
lowercase goes capital.
CYNTHIAGOBBLE.
Yeah. Sometimes the computer does like autocorrect though, and you don't notice. It happens to me all the time, and I have to resend the email. Yeah.
Toronto and Vancouver are both great. I'm here. Montreal is even nicer. Wow. I loved
What,
Canada. I really did. I'm working. I want to be able to talk without working. I understand. No
that's a
problem. We'll
good
do another
it,
time.
it's a good idea to finish up maybe.
Vancouver
Do
is
it.
nice but dangerous. You know what? I was so impressed with how clean your cities are. I mean, even the highways, y'all. This was in '98 or '99, but like no graffiti, there was no garbage. Walking past breezeways that didn't smell like garbage, like in New York City, because that's what I would compare Toronto to, is like a clean New York City. Never been to Toronto or further east than Alberta. Oh, you should go. It's great shopping. Daisy, could you do a voice chat in Discord and tell your story? That's a good idea. Okay, I've got it up here on the ticker. Um, there. Yeah, Cynthia Gobble at gmail.com. Just let us know how many bars you want and where you want me to ship it to.
I don't know. I haven't done any of the voice chats with any of you guys. I think I did started
My
one once and I
granddaughter
couldn't.
is in Toronto, and it's as bad as Vancouver. Oh, really?
Hard to figure out.
Used to be just awesome in the 90s. I loved getting to go there. Gypsy, yeah, I have been subservient to a man. Not anymore, though. If a man ever lifted a hand to me, sorry, but he would not have. That is exactly how I feel. Since 1992, that's how I feel. I always fight back now. Because I've had a bad day too. I've had a bad life. Let's just go. Let's just go at it, scratch each other's eyeballs out. If that's how it's going to go down. Because usually when the man gets hurt, they don't want to hurt you anymore because it hurts. They don't want to get hurt. They don't like to get hurt. And I scratch, pull hair, and I bite.
Oh my. Put Magnum in the background, Stedman.
I had to mute him. Get back in the kitchen. We are trying to go plastic free in Canada. Wow, okay. Yes, voices. I'm also West Coast, and the small town here is just as bad as Vancouver. Wow. That's what happens when we can't accept the signs or they need us, but in the end, some shot and killed them. Wow. October, baby, I know this has been a trigger for you. I hope you're doing okay. I bet this has been an incredible trigger for you. It has for me. So I've been on limited, a limited amount of time. Like I'll go earth out in the yard or like making soap and just do something, Yeah, 8 hours north of Vancouver. So you're there where all the snow is. That's awesome. Crimes are bad here. And we only have, wow, really? And you've got a good looking prime minister, Trudeau. We're going to
I thought of
marry
that
one
today.
day. I'm going to marry him one day. He just doesn't know it. He'll change his ways. You'll see. Because he's a liberal.
I thought about the AC too.
I'll keep him in the basement till he turns.
Under the stairs. People under the stairs.
I hate the paper and those other fake straws. Yeah, I know, right? The paper straws.
Paper
Give me a
straws.
break.
Who ever thought of that?
Okay, love you too, October baby. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
I feel like we do get raw here, and then we kind of like we go off and who's bandaging us? When we're scratching these wounds, who's bandaging us? After we turn off here,
Mm-hmm.
It's insanity. Take 2 sips and you're looking. Where's the straw?
It disintegrates. It's the dumbest idea. It
It's
pisses me
so
off.
stupid.
I just throw it away. Stupid piece of
Yeah.
crap.
I'm in the South. We still get plastic. We don't give a damn here.
I don't
You
have
don't
plastic
care.
bags, but I'd rather have paper bags and have my straw.
There was some meme. I can't say it. It's on my mind. I'll send it to you later.
I think the paper straws enraged me. I think you just triggered me. Downtown Alexa.
Smoking Canadian bacon is what my daughter used to call Trudeau. Oh my gosh, Ken, I need to show him that video where they ask him about his opinion of Trump.
No.
Yes. Can you send it to me?
I don't know if I can copy it, but I will.
Yeah, we've got it on our playlist. I saved it on my playlist. I might be able to do it. Wouldn't I just go to present? It does make you less trustful of people on here. Yeah. Canada is socialist. Careful. Oh, is it? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. They can keep it.
They don't have extreme poverty.
They do too. Yeah, they do. They just said they do.
They don't know what extreme is.
Well, they come down here too. But nowadays it seems like everywhere is lacking freedoms of some time. It's really hot here. down with Trudeau and Biden. I just said he was good looking. I didn't say I liked his politics. I just thought he was hot. The president of Mexico years ago when Trump was in office was good looking too. I can't remember his name. That's funny as heck. It's in our playlist on YouTube. It's a funny. It's I'm not going to give it away, but it's hilarious. Are you looking for it?
Yeah, give me. You just keep talking. Keep them entertained.
Quit pressuring me. You're getting it. I'm getting it. It does remind us we can't trust people, especially online. 3 stick to dog. Yes, I'll stick to doggies.
Or to just be more careful.
Trudeau
use
forgets
that
the
lesson.
lesson. I totally can see how that happens. And it's not just Trudeau. A lot of Canadians do, I think, and Americans. Because, like, even me, when I'm like talking about, Canada was part of my territory. I sold 14 franchises there. La 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 la. And then they're like, oh, well, was it here and there? And I was like, no, it was over there in Toronto. What, honey? Let's see. Yes, voices. That's why we hate Biden. Lots of reasons why we hate Biden. I mean, maybe the British Columbia part confused Trudeau on the West Coast. Sadly, there aren't any good politicians. They are all in it for themselves. That is the truth. Canadian Prime Minister is a bad, bad guy, and he's a major communist. Yeah, I know. I just said he was cute. I just said I'd give him a ride if I saw him walking. That's all I said. I'd give him some gum. That's all I mean. Give him a stick of gum if I saw him. That's all I mean. The second email has my address. The second email has her address.
She said stick
Green sugar bum. I know, I like people too, just kidding, but I wish humans were more like dogs. I want my dog to be
That's why
Snoopy.
mine's my best friend.
I want my dog to be like Snoopy. I want him to like cook and stuff.
That would be sweet.
I don't know, man. I love Snoopy. I saw I shared it on my Instagram of Snoopy and Lucy arm wrestling the other day, and they get really mad at each other and they're sweating and everything, and they're trying to arm wrestle. It's hilarious. I was rolling.
Oh, I gotta find. There's a crab in my car. I just remembered. That's what I was talking about.
It's true. Dow, like true though, but huh? What? So you mean it's French? I'm supposed to say true what?
Though
Trudeau?
Though. It's though.
Like Frère Jacques, dormez-vous. Chaotic wanted a song.
Though.
Trudeau. I gotta hike my leg when I pee.
Like Snoopy?
I love that. My dog would rather do dishes.
Mine's pretty good at pre-washing. Mine's a good
like,
pre-washer.
I mean, he would come in and sit down in a recliner and eat popcorn. That would be cool, just like Snoopy does.
Well, I could turn my head sometimes, and there's my son handing over his dish to the dog, which I know why the dog sits next to him. Here you go.
He says I can't stand him or his name. I just said he was pretty. Don't hate
He just
me.
wants to give him a stick of gum.
I just said he was pretty. You had me rolling in your video, Sarah. I was like, I was hurting. My stomach
Which
was
one?
hurting. I was the one where you go, I don't know if anybody can hear me now. This is horseshit.
Oh, could you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
You go,
Well, I thought
you go,
nobody heard me.
this is
I'm talking to dead
bullshit.
air. I said, I
you
think
go,
I'm talking to dead air. I don't remember saying the B word.
you go, this is bullshit. And you go, this is horseshit.
Maybe I should go watch it since I have it posted. That would probably be a good idea.
It's right at the end. I was laughing my ass. I was so
Well,
funny.
I got knocked out because of the wind, and then I went back in, and I'm like, does anyone hear me? Should I continue this live stream? Am I talking to the dead air? And I was like, I'll just go look for sea glass. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
went
I
to a
love
different
watching your
I went to a
videos.
different beach today, but what I was trying to say earlier, the tide came in when I went out on the rocks, so on the way back, I had no way to get to the shore, and I had to go pick up my son, so I'm like, what am I gonna do? My dog wouldn't go, he wouldn't walk or swim, and it was already like up to his, almost over his head. So I had a problem, so I was on Bluetooth with Chaotic, and I seriously said if I fall, call somebody. So I had to pick up my dog and walk to the shore. And then my boots, I was wearing waders. They completely filled with water, so I was weighed down, walking with a big munchkin of a
It's
dog.
a good thing you have waders on, though.
Yeah, but they got filled with water because it was too high.
Um,
The tide came up over my waders, and I had to dump my boots out. I put it on FaceTime so Chaotic could see me dump out my boots. It's
um,
funny. It's funny now. I'll laugh about it, but I did get a little
Sugar
worried.
Pie says she don't want no sassy lala boys. She wants them to be manly men.
Oh, Sissy, you just reminded me when you said Sissy Lala. Look at my post after this. Look at my community post for a good laugh.
Okay, she wants them to be manly men. Was that my internet? I lost you from. I don't know. It's raining here, so it's like storming. Does this look like the inside of a genie bottle? That's what my backdrop is. Can y'all see it? It's supposed to be the inside of a genie bottle. Look.
Oh, I got harem.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know how to do all
Yeah.
that stuff. You got your good Stedman there, your computer guy.
I don't use him anymore. I go through myself now.
Did you? Oh, you got it. That's
Yeah,
cool.
there was
I
too
don't.
much.
I don't use him anymore.
We were too much creative. We were unequally yoked creatively.
That's funny.
Now I know why collaborations don't work and people break up, like Lindsay and Stevie.
Oh man.
Can you turn on the air? It's hot as heck under these
Well,
lights.
I am gonna drop in. I'm gonna probably
Yeah, it's
drop in.
almost time to go watch the barnyard, isn't it?
Oh, I
Oh,
forgot
did you
about
see?
that.
Did you see her eggs? She's got incubating now.
Oh, are they
These
starting to
are going to be the
have?
big chickens. The big. I'm
Oh,
excited.
I want to see them if they're coming through. Yeah.
I want to do that. I do too, Jackie. I'd love to do it to my bedroom. And a friend of mine that's an artist, she did it to her whole living room. It's nothing but pillows on the floor, and she's got this everywhere in all her art. And
Oh, cool.
it's just the coolest thing, and it really is. She lives in Asheville.
I like it.
I think it's at 7.
Well, I'm gonna go do something productive for a few minutes and figure out my food and all that.
Okay, thank you for coming. We love you,
Always,
Sarah.
always a pleasure. Love you. Bye.
Bye. All right, so it's time to go watch the Barnyard Frenzy over at Southern Girls. Some comic relief. I know the conversation got kind of heavy today, and I'm glad that we had varying opinions, and we were able to calm me down. And I apologize to anybody that if my inbound anger touched anybody in a negative way. I hope not. But Good to see you, BDAT. I apologize to you too. I hope that you heard it. Again, I hope that I didn't disrespect anyone and didn't cross any lines. I'm just a mother who is down one and looking for solutions for our community, right? So that other children don't get victimized and we break this cycle. That's the whole key is what can we do that is different than what we've been doing before? Because obviously what we've been doing in the past in the 60s, 70s, and 80s have brought us here. So we have to do something different, you know. We've got to talk about it. We've got to it takes a village, right? And so care about your fellow man, and if you see something, say something, and no means no, right? And hug your children tight, and I'll see y'all over at Southern Girl.
Play that video there.
Not tonight. Thank you for coming, BDAC.
Life is harder than I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. No point in calling, you just have to see the fundamentals of our life tonight. 'Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm moving.